Here it is, Tuesday, March the 4th, I think. Yeah, still cold and breezy, threatening rain. Oh golly, we've had all kinds of weather this winter, and it seems to be the same all the way across the country. So I guess we can bear with it a few more weeks until we start getting a little touch of spring. Now I'm sitting at my dining table right in front of my cabinet that's filled with, see, that's my fiesta ware. Well, that's not all of it, but it gives you an idea. See the little, those are small juice glasses. Down here at follow my finger. See the cups and the plates and plates and plates and bowls, and some of the glasses you see are called kitchen craft. Kitchen craft carried the same colors, and they went well with fiesta ware. Now, what you see is all the genuine original that was made in the mid-30s and came on up into the 40s and the 50s. That's what I collected. There are no new pieces in my cabinet. So let's just get a whiff of that. Let's pull this iPad around a little bit. I worked and worked at getting this iPad set up so that you could see everything on the table and you could listen to me, and I really wasn't planning for you to examine my kitchen, but it's in the background, and just pretend it isn't there if you see anything that makes you go, oh. You're liable to find it in my kitchen like that. I do look like it's got something in it, doesn't it? Oh, it's just these ugly teeth I've got. Okay. I've noticed that I'm not getting a lot of comments in the last few days, and I'm sure you're going to blame it on the fact that I haven't added any more videos. But folks, it's hard to come up with a good story and something to talk about. I've just about talked out. I've got over 400 little stories on my channel. That ought to be enough to keep you busy for a few weeks if you're getting bored. Now, that's only if you're getting bored, and it can keep you awake a few hours now and then. Yeah, I know. It's all starting to sound like the same old story, just on and on and on and on. But at my age, I'm not out and about much. There aren't many places to go, and Kroger's tired of looking at me. Been working on my car again. Discovered there really isn't anything wrong with the car. The problem is me. I just can't handle all those newfangled buttons and things on the dashboard. I don't know what to do with them. And my problem with my battery, it's not my battery so much as it's the fact that I don't drive my car enough, and the battery won't stay charged. Yeah, this is one of these newfangled cars. It's not new car, but it's a newfangled thing that with all those little buttons on the dashboard, if you don't drive the car enough, it drains the battery. That's what I learned. Got me a new mechanic. I think he's a pretty good guy. Yeah, he's got me straightened out, everything. New alternator, new battery, new this, new that. Even new windshield wipers. So I'm hoping they'll hold out a while longer, as long as I can still drive around town. So much for my car. Too much for my car. Let's get on with the auction. Do you like auctions? When's the last time you went to one? Would you believe that several years ago there was an auction house? I'll call it an auction house because it was just a half block down the street from me. Now, you talk about a temptation. That's a temptation when you know they're having an auction tonight. Oh gosh, I really don't need to go to that auction. There's nothing I can afford. I don't have room for any more dishes or furniture. In fact, see this table I'm sitting here working at? It's a cherry drop leaf table. I bought it at that auction house. And I just loved going down there, but they sold the building and went somewhere else, which was good for me because I didn't need to be going down there every week. Okay, Jan says, Mom, there's going to be an auction in Georgetown on Saturday. Do you want to go? Well, I just about jumped at her. I said, of course I want to go. I'd be crazy if I said no, considering how long it's been since I've been to an auction. So we got up and off we went Saturday morning. Oh, it was so cold. I went to her house thinking it was going to be warm while I was there. I was expecting weather in the 60s, and doggone if it wasn't 28 degrees, and I'm wearing just nothing but a heavy sweater. Yeah, I was cold, all right. Cold-natured anyway. But we got to Georgetown, big old warehouse-looking building, and it was full of people as well. Oh my gosh, this is going to be fun. So we got a seat right up on the second row, right in front of the auctioneer. Now, if you've never been to an auction, you got a treat in store for you. If you've never watched an auctioneer rattle that tongue, you missed something. I sat there staring at that man, and his mouth was going like this, just like that. I couldn't understand a word he said. I looked at Jan and I said, can you tell what he's saying? Yeah, I know what he's saying. Okay, she could understand him. That's all that matters, because she was the one that had the card with the number on it, and she was the one going to be raising her hand to place bids. Naturally, you already know that she goes to things like that to find good vintage items to put in her booth at the antique shop. She's very good at selecting just the right thing. So I was going to I wanted her to bid on a few things for me too. I couldn't sit through a whole auction and not bid on something, take something home with me. Well, that'd be a disgrace. So there we were. I'm watching and I'm thinking, he's going, that's the way his mouth was going. But somewhere in there he was saying numbers like 2 and 3, 4, 5. But I couldn't even catch what he was saying. And I'd say, Jan, what's the bid? 5. Okay. Because I thought if I was interested in the item, and they'd already gone above what I wanted to pay, was no point in me telling her, bid on that. So every now and then I would say to her, I want that. She'd say, you want that? I said, yes, I want that. Okay, so she raised that hand. Now she got a lot of things, and I got a few. I was having a gay old time, and she was too, because we were getting some good buys. I could go into the things they had. They had furniture. They had long tables of vintage Christmas stuff. And would you believe we sat right there and watched every bit of that Christmas stuff go, and we didn't place a single bid, not one. I said, Jan, do you believe we didn't even bid on anything? Well, like she said, she got a barn full of Christmas stuff, her basement full of Christmas stuff. My big closet in my basement is also full of Christmas stuff, and we didn't even get it out this year. That's all it took to resist the temptation of buying vintage Christmas decoration. So those things went fast. Okay, I'll show you some of the things I got. I have to explain a little bit of it to you. I looked over on, they had these big long, I don't know, tray carts with double shelves. And we looked at all the little knickknacks and things, see if there was anything there we wanted. And I pointed to a few dishes on the bottom shelf. I said, Jan, I want you to bid on that. Well, you know what she said, more dishes? I said, but these aren't just dishes, they're special. Well, she didn't have a clue what I meant. So, I'm going to show you a few pieces. Well, I bought them all, to tell the truth. But I want you to see some of them. Now, these are called, I have to look at my notes because I forget what I wrote down. These are called copper luster Tealeaf ironstone. Copper luster Tealeaf. Tealeaf is the pattern. Now, some of you, if you're my age, you've seen this stuff. You've seen it in an antique shop. But I hadn't seen any in a long time. I can remember back 40 plus years ago, and there was a lot of depression glass. Everybody was collecting depression glass, and I was collecting it too, and I also had a booth in an antique shop and was selling it. But I had seen this pattern called copper luster Tealeaf. It was a very popular pattern, and it was expensive. I couldn't touch it. No, as much as I wanted it. I don't know why I wanted it, but I knew it was expensive, and I just wanted a few pieces of it. Well, I got a few pieces of it Saturday, and I'm going to show you some of them. Let's start with the little butter pats. I put a little tag on some of these things so I could see where I looked them up on the internet. And these little butter pads showed up on eBay and Etsy, priced at $10 each. Let's take a look at one of them. There it is. Hand-painted tea leaves. See the little small leaf? Hand-painted. Now let me show you another one. And get hold of them right. See the difference? Look how small this one is. Look how big this one is. They had to be hand painted to have that much difference on them. So I've got 6 of them. 6 of them. Aren't they cute? They've got the copper luster around the edge and the little tea leaf. And on the back, it says Alfred Meekin, England. They were produced, I think, started about 1856, and they went on up to 1976. Now, you may not like these, but at one time they were very popular, and people wanted them. I guess because they were expensive. Well, here they were at the auction. Jan looks at these things and, why do you want those things? And I didn't know how to explain to her. This was something at one time I lusted over, just like all of the other buyers did. They lusted too. Some of them bought it. But I always wanted some pieces of Tealeaf. So here's my 6 little butter pats. Let's go next to see what I've got here. Oh, here we go. This is a little creamer or a little milk pitcher. Now you have to admit that's pretty. I'll take the tag off of it. But you see this tag hanging down here? It was already on there. So somewhere, someone had priced this little pitcher. Look close now. $45. What money? Yeah. But I've got it now. Okay, let's put this back over here, out of the way. Let's get the salad plate. Now somewhere I've got a list that says salad plates on it. And it'd be better if I could see. Oh, listed on the internet was this little plate. $10 to $18 each. There you go. See these? See the back on? It says Alfred Meekin, England. You English will be pleased to see these. All right, let's see. The next piece is, now I only got 2 of those, because that's all there were. The next one is the dinner plate. These things are heavy. See, there we go. Dinner plate, priced on the internet anywhere from $38 to $79 each. You don't get a whole set. Don't think when you start bidding on this that you're getting a whole set. You're getting 1 plate. Or if you want the whole set, you buy them at 10, at whatever the bid was. And that's what you get. There's my tea leaf pattern. You're probably saying, what in the world does she want those for? I really don't remember, but I did. I wanted them. Now, take a look at this. What do you think? Kinda nice, isn't it? Take a little lid to it. There you go. Now, I don't think I had anything listed for the teapot. I don't see it. I could be looking. Oh, yes, I do. It says, price. These were different prices. $30. Another one was $45 for this. That'll make pretty table setting. You know it will. But let me show you what happened. I picked this up and turned around and tipped. Let's see, I've got two of them. See that? Got two of them. I turned around and this just barely touched the handle, and what happened? It broke the handle off. Let me show you. Here we go. Look at there. See? Broke that handle off. And here are the two pieces that were on the back of that. These are what? Well, I can glue those back on. Of course, it's worthless, but it's pretty if you want to just have something that sits on a shelf or in a cabinet to show off. Nobody will ever know that the handle was broken off, because I don't plan on selling it anyway. But even, I thought how odd that was, how easy this touched that handle and broke it in two pieces. All right, there we go. I'm going to put these right back out of the way so I can continue. You're wondering, okay, Pet, what did you have to give for the dishes? Well, I'm not through showing them to you yet. I've got Platters. Now this one is this is from a different company. There were different companies that made these patterns, just like Blue Willow. You can find all sorts of company names. But look at this pattern. See how big that leaf is? Oh gosh. Well, get the light off of it. Get it over here. There we go. You can see it. Now see, it had the gold or the copper around the edge, but that's been almost all worn off. Another platter, Alfred Meekin. Now this is a beautiful platter, and the prices on it were, oh, this is a 12-inch. This is a 12-inch platter, and it was priced at $48, in case you want to know. We always got to get the price. I'm trying to be careful, not break anything. And last but not least, take a look at this one. Isn't she a beauty? She's about 13, 14 inches long and 12 inches wide. But I think it's beautiful. This is Alfred Meekin too. So I'm going to put these back out of the way. We're through with them. And I've got a cute little thing I want to show you over here. Let me pull this around a little bit. Let's get this out of the way so you can see. You ever seen these before? Take a look at these cute little mallard ducks. Isn't that precious? The 3-piece set. Here are the small ones. See how pretty? They're not just alike. Okay, you can see them well enough, I think. And here's Mama. Isn't she a beauty? Well, Jan bid on this for me. I didn't know she was getting it for me, because I was kind of getting to where I thought better not bid on anything else. But she bid on these for me. And let me get it back out of the way. Keep them from rattling. These are called Royal Windsor Copley Mallard Ducks. Royal Windsor Copley is a big name duck. Yeah. And the prices on them were $45 for that set. $45. And Jan got the set for $4. That's what you need to know. You need to know how much we paid. Now I quoted you how many different prices on these pieces. And let's see. The teapot I said was $30 to $45. Now that's just two things. Get an idea. Keep in mind, here's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. $60 in little butter pats. Boy, you better be careful when you use your cut your butter at my table. You won't mess up my butter pats. Well, that's the butter pats. These were, oh, I forgot how much I told you. But the teapot was like $45 price and all that stuff. I got all of this for $60. And I can remember when I used to just drool over these dishes and wish I could buy them, but they were too expensive. Look what I've got. I'm going to set a table for you with these one of these days. We'll see if we can't come up with something a little different and pretty. Now, I'm going to move some of these things. Everything touching and rattling. Let me get out of my chair first. All right, let's move some of these things out of the way. Wow, they are heavy. Gonna come around the table and get the other side. Get my teapots off. My big plates. All my little notes. Now, I think that takes care of that. Get my mallards off over here and put them over here on the tablecloth. I just love those mallards. I think the reason Jan got those for me is because last Thanksgiving I found a peacock, and that's what I used for my Thanksgiving decoration, was this beautiful, colorful peacock. Wasn't it a peacock? No, it wasn't a peacock. It was a pheasant. and it was a liquor, liquor bottle. You unscrewed its head. Now I'm going to show you something you're very familiar with. I know you are. Some of you are. This is the Jewel Tea autumn leaf pattern. I've got gobs of it in this cabinet right behind me. You can't see it because it's on the shelf down below that shelf you see of Fiesta ware. There are 2 shelves down below that go all the way across, and they're all autumn leaf. Now, get this out of the way too. Ball pitcher. Everybody's seen them. This happened to be the ball pitcher for autumn leaf. I looked these things up on the internet, and it showed prices $30 to $50. This would have been introduced to the public about 1933, and you got it with premium. I don't have to explain to you what the company was, because everybody's mother or grandmother used to buy from Jewel Tea, and these were bought as premiums. So see, take a look at this good-looking ball pitcher. The next thing I'll show you is, this is just, I've got one of these already, but this is just a little covered bowl. I think it's like a grease bowl on your stove. And, oh yeah, that's what it says. It says lidded grease dripping or sugar. You can use it for loose sugar. Now, I didn't realize I've got a whole bunch of these little berry bowls, and they're really, really very pretty little bowls, and I didn't realize they are priced pretty high. If you are collecting Jewel Tea autumn leaf, these run expensive. I don't remember what the price was, but some of the premiums, the Jewel Tea man would sell tea, coffee, spices, some grocery items, and laundry items. And then as a premium, you got to pick out whatever you wanted. Get my little handles out of the way. Here's a nice little platter. I didn't have a platter like this. This would have been priced about $20, but it's just a nice sized little platter. You wouldn't want to try putting a turkey on it. I'll put it that way. I can tell you a little story about the Jewel Tea Company. It's after I was married. Jan was about 4 years old, and we were living in an upstairs apartment. And I looked out the window and saw a truck, the Jewel Tea truck. Well, I was interested because my mother had traded with him for years. I wanted to see what he had. So he came in, and I looked over the item, and I didn't realize Jewel Tea sold children's items. And he had a kit, I'd call it a kit. It was like fiberboard materials, and it was a little stove. Looked like your own stove. Had those little burners and the little knobs on the front of the stove. It had a little oven door that opened. when you turn the knobs, you had to have batteries. When you turn the knobs, the little burners on the top of would light up like they were getting hot. Well, I just thought that was the cutest thing ever was. So I was going to give that to Jan for Christmas. Oh, it would be a dandy. I just knew it was going to be the finest thing ever was if she got that for Christmas. I spent one whole day, at least 8 straight hours, putting that little stove together. I thought I would never get those pieces put together, and it had nuts and bolts and screws and what have you, and I thought this is not going to happen. But I had it finished by the end of the day, and it was just adorable. It was the sweetest little thing. Why couldn't I have kept that? I don't even know what happened to it. But that was one of those children's items that a mother should have kept, and I didn't. Now, I've got two of these 2 pie plates. One was my mother's, and the other one I got yesterday. When did I get them? Saturday. All right. I've got 2, I call them hot plates, but they call them large trivets. See what my note says. Oh, that's something else. Okay. These are so pretty. They look like they've never been used. You see the label on the back. Homer Laughlin. And this is the trivet. Very nice for your hot dishes. These go back here. And I got a creamer. This is a large creamer. This creamer, where's my note on that? See these little pudding cups? I've got about 20 of these. I'm going to have a party one of these days, and we're going to eat soup. All right, see what else this says. Oh, I read about the Jewelty autumn leaf pattern, and I don't know if they still make them or not, but they had miniature sets. They had the, you know, the little, the little Aladdin lamp teapot for children. You could buy sets of Jewelty dishes in children's size, and I think if you start looking, you probably find them. I've never seen any, but I think that would be one of the most delightful things in the world to have something like that. Now you've got, this is called a French baker, I think. Let me look at it. French baker. It holds 3 pints. It has the gold trim. Now take a look. Look at can you see the gold trim around the edge of the bowl? Let me find a piece that you can get a better look. For instance, you gotta have the lighting just right. You can't see it, can you? Well, they're all edged in gold. It's 80 to 90% gold that's on your dishes. You can see the gold around the edge of these pie plates. And this is another bowl. It's the one with the handles, and it also has another bowl that sits on top of it with a lid. I don't have, well, I do have the one set already, but this just came with the bottom piece. It's just an extra piece. Now you're looking at what I got. Jan says, you got plenty of jewelry dishes. Why do you want more? I said, because I don't have the pieces that they're going to auction off. I don't have the ball picture. I didn't have this. I didn't have that platter. I didn't have, well, I did have one pie plate. And these other pieces, I said, I didn't have those. Now, folks, you think of what this would cost if you walked into an antique shop and said, oh, there is the ball picture. Priced $30 to $50. Made in 1933. Take a look. Take a look at all this. See all these pieces? I dare you to try to guess and come close to what I paid for those. Well, I won't keep it guessing. $2 for the entire set. $2. Now, if that wasn't the buy of the day, I don't know what is. And I'm just so tickled that I've got them. So that is that. I've got one other thing I'm going to show you. And it really probably should wait for another day. But I had it out and I said, oh, it won't matter. I'll show it anyway. Gotta move these things around so you can see what I'm doing. Take a look at this. Now I know if you're interested in Fiesta ware, you've seen these. This is called a chop plate. It's 15 inches wide. I've got 3 of them. This is the yellow, and I have 2 in turquoise. I'm just waiting to have a big party so I can fill these plates with hors d'oeuvres and goodies, cookies, peanut butter, stuff like that. But I wanted to show you that platter, and they're rare. You won't find very many of them. And I thought, well, I'll just, in case my video is short, I'll just add that into the things that I put on the table for you to see tonight. Now, I did this video earlier this afternoon. I got it started. I got into about 12 minutes of the video. And would you believe somebody in the building is remodeling? And a workman was using a drill. You would have thought that drill was sitting here on this table. It was so loud. And I said, I've got to cut this video down. I have to quit because you couldn't hear me talk for the noise from the drill. So the man who was doing that remodeling work, I'm assuming he's home now, resting, and he'll be back in the morning to do some more work. Well, I can deal with that, I don't mind. But when I'm in the middle of one of my videos, I wish they would wait till another time to do their drill work. But I hesitate to ask them to put it off till tomorrow. You know how that would be. It would work real good. So I don't know anything else to talk about. I'm looking around to see if I overlooked anything from the auction. But there were picture frames. Love picture frame. Oh gosh. They had 2 walls lined with ornate, beautiful, fancy. I don't know if I can turn this around enough for you to see. One, I don't think you can see the one I want you to see on the wall with the big ornate bouquet of flowers. Now I got it at Goodwill for $15, and it looks like it's hand painted. Yeah, it's probably a Renoir. Yeah, don't you guess? Looks like one to me. So anyway, Jan and I, we walked over and we started looking at those frames, and I said, Jan, I've got to have one of these frames. I have to. Some of them were mirrors. You know, the big round, great big round ones with the ornate gold trims that your grandmother had hanging on the wall. There was one of those, and I think Jan might have bought it. She bought one. She bought one of the pictures. You could tell it was old. The frame itself was about 4 to 5 inches wide. Very, very nice frame. But the picture was behind glass. And I know that glass hadn't been cleaned in 45 years, because you just barely could tell the scene behind the glass. So Jan got the bid on that one. I think she got it for about $5. She called me, she sent me a message, and she said, I'm sending you a picture to look at. I've worked for, I don't know how long, cleaning the glass on this frame. And she showed me the picture, and I'm telling you, the glass was so dirty, you thought it was a real faded picture. But once she cleaned that glass, it was one of the prettiest still life pictures I've ever seen. And she said, I'm not selling this one, it's staying in my house. I said, it better stay in your house. It's just beautiful. So once she gets it hung and in the right place, she, like me, she doesn't have much wall space left. So I'm really anxious for her to hang that picture. It was just gorgeous. And my only regret was that I didn't bid on it myself. But you know, when you don't have another spot on the wall for another picture, what are you going to do with it? Well, she got it, and she'll find a place to put it. And I'm anxious to see it in its place and take pictures of it. That's about all I can tell about our auction. I just know they announced that there would be another one on March the 29th. I have a feeling Jan and I'll be going to that auction too. But look what I got. Look what I got. You think about that. The price is $2. $2 for these dishes. All of these. This ball pitcher included. The Tealeaf and the mallard ducks. Those mallard ducks are very expensive. So, that's it for today. Now you're going to have to start sending me some messages, because it's worrying me that nobody's responding to anything. Keep in mind, I will talk to you, look for things to talk about, try to tell you some old stories. But when you've already told over 400 stories, I'm kind of feeling like I've told you my whole life story. From the day I was born till now. Who knows? Who knows? Have you enjoyed this? I hope you have, because I really wanted you to see my new things, and I want to do table arrangement. Oh, and by the way, you can't really see it that good, but you see the tablecloth? I think I got that for $7. It's a large crocheted tablecloth for the table. And you know, it's funny about something like that, knowing that my mother, she's crocheted every night after dinner. She would sit in a rocking chair and crochet doilies and tablecloths and things. And I know how long it took her, how much work was involved in that. So when I got this beautiful crocheted tablecloth for $7, I almost felt guilty about it. I thought some little old lady has spent hours and days and weeks making this tablecloth. And where did it go? Well, I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to use it. I plan on doing table decoration using that tablecloth. And I want that little old lady, I can just assume she's no longer with us, or her cloth wouldn't be on my table. But I want to enjoy it and make use of it just like she had planned for it to do. So, take care of yourselves. I know some of you had to fight the tornadoes. I wasn't even aware it was going on because I hadn't paid any attention to the news. But I know Billie Jean and his mother, they hid in a closet in their house. So they were safe from the tornado. But I don't know how much damage was done. I'm sure he'll be probably do a video and tell us all about what they did. And all I had to say was was ask him if, what was it? I asked him if he had a flashlight and a Dr. Pepper. That's all you need if you're hiding in a closet from a tornado. I know he appreciated me asking that. So I'm glad to know they were safe from the storms, and everybody else too. And let's hope that the weather's going to get better. We need some pretty weather. We need something to cheer us up. And I'm going to go get me a little bit of Dr. Pepper. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to check my messages and see if I've heard from anybody. And you better respond. Thank you for watching.